you? I'm Shaw and I like to grow stuff here on plot 32 in sunny Cheshire. Got a lot of big projects that need doing this month. Well, over the next 6 weeks really, ready for the growing season to truly kick in. So I figured if there was ever a time to start documenting things, it's now. So being as you've never been here before, it's my first video, I figured it's a good time to do a plot tour. So let's show you around quickly, shall we? So we start here at the beginning of the plot. The very first we got is a water butt. I only put this here the other day. I know it's nothing exciting, but last year I only had one water butt in the middle of the plot and it was a nightmare trying to go to and from it all the time. So being as I'm rejigging things around at the moment, I'm going to try and put water butts dotted around the plot. Next to it, we've got a little planter with some spring bulbs in. And next to that, we have got my new strawberry bed. I just put this bed in the other day. The strawberries I got from B&Q last year, at the end of the year, half dead. They don't look the healthiest now, to be honest, but we'll see what they do. Right behind that, we've got broad beans. And I've put this chicken wire here for some peas. That's how they're going to go. This bed, nothing in it just yet, but that's probably going to be the same. Broad beans followed by peas. Or peas with beetroot, one or the other. Here is my next new bed. I only put this one in the other day. It's not quite filled yet, so I'm not sure what's going to happen with that one, but we've got that there. Moving along, we've got lots of beds here with garlic in. We've got here garlic and onions. Here, garlic and spinach. The spinach was never for eating, that was just for roots in the ground. Right behind it, we've got more broad beans. This is a different variety. This is called Superiffin. I bought it because I like the name. Like, how sick is that name? Then I've got my 4 little blue barrel planters, which I love. Like, I think they really add nice bit of interest to the plot, the height. And behind that, we've got my chunky bed. This one is mainly full of garlic. We eat lots of garlic and onions in our house, so I've gone heavy on the garlic. I want to try and be self-sufficient in it, hopefully. So we'll see how that goes, I don't know. Also here, I've got like a row of potato buckets that are going to live here with the potatoes in. And I've just put in 2 bathtub planters. That one is storing stuff in it at the moment, so it looks a mess, but it will get emptied soon. And here is the first of the big projects that are on the go this month. So we've got quite a big open space here, and in that space is going this greenhouse, which is a 4x6, and then I've got a 6x8 that's going to go in front of it. Me and my other half are not very handy at all, but we spent a long time the other day putting in this base. Our plot's on quite a steep slope, as you can tell, so to try and make it level, we kind of dug a trench into the slope, put some gravel for drainage, and then I had this wood, so I've used it to build a frame. It's not the straightest, it's not the flattest, but we've done the very best we can, so hopefully it'll do. We're gonna attach this to it when she's off in a couple of days. Yeah, so the plan will then be to attach that to that, glaze that, and we need to work out some sort of base in this area for the next greenhouse, which, like, honestly, we just don't know what we're going to do. Yeah, I love my allotment. I love growing veg. I love sowing seeds. I love all of that. But, like, DIY, building things, like, it's not my forte. We're muddling through. We're trying. If anyone does know an easy way that I can make a base for not much money for the bigger greenhouse, like, let me know in the comments. It would help massively, because I just keep going down rabbit holes. But anyway, this is the bottom plot. And if you look at it at certain angles, like, it's starting to look pretty good. Like, we're getting there. The trouble starts when we move on to the next plot. So when I first took on my plot, I only took half a plot, and that was this bottom plot here. After a few months, they offered me the back half of it too. So the further up your plot you go, the bigger of a mess it's in. This is the lower half of the second plot, and this I worked last year. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 beds here going this way, and we've got 4 beds here going this way. Honestly, on the face of it, it's not so bad. But if the closer you look, the beds are all rotting. The paving is all like crazy paving, which means the weeds come through like crazy and they're a nightmare to get up. If I use the weed killer, fine, but I'm trying to do things organically and it's just so much easier for me to hold the wood chip than it is to manually weed all of the weeds in this path. So this all needs redoing. What the plan for this specific area that I'm in now is, actually hold that thought, I'll show you what I've got growing here first. I've got my overwintered onion bed. This bed was mulched with leaves and moss off someone's garden. This is a Styrian tree cabbage, which I just didn't like, so I left them and let them go. And this bed, which looks awful with the netting on, is purple sprouting broccoli and some kale at the end, but we don't like kale either. And then we had here kale the spring onions, that disaster there. This bed at the moment's got all my fruit plants that are waiting out to go out on it. And here we have more purple sprouting broccoli, some garlic and onions by the looks of things. Between the lower and the upper parts, there is a slight step here, and there's nothing really holding it in place. Up there, there's some bricks, but they're sliding forwards, and this has slowly sloped forward since I've been here the last couple of years. So I wanted to put in some sort of a retaining wall. The problem is, I find everything on a rock bottom budget. I can't afford the timber to put in a proper little retaining thing here. So I come up with a plan. I've got all these blue barrels for free. I've sliced them into 3, and I'm going to have a row of planters all the way along the plot here. Theory being, the weight of the soil inside the planter will help hold it in place, kind of thing. A bit like a cross between a dirt locker and a gabion basket. I don't know if I explained that the best because I'm not the best communicator. But yeah, basically, we're having a row of blue planters. We're going to pull some soil forward to fill the planters, and in turn, level off enough space here to put a polytunnel. Once that's done, the next big job will be installing the polytunnel. So that's 4 quite big jobs that I need to try and get done in the next 6 weeks. Now I've shown you that, now we're at the arse end of the plot really. It is the dumping ground. Yeah, this is the back section of the plot. It's an absolute hellhole. In this area here, there was an old rotten shed that I ripped down last year. Then we've got old decking. Obviously the water butts are going to be used. They're going to be dotted around the plot for water storage. That is a compost bin that the wind's blown over. We've got flags, we've got rubbish, we've got a trampoline net, canes, old wood. All this here is like a patio, old, more crazy paving it needs ripping up. And here, underneath all this is like planters that are going up in steps, but all the woods around them's rotten. And in between them, there is, which is all over the place on my plot, gravel pathways, which are not what we want and are a nightmare to get up. So yeah, that's my plot. It's looking in quite a mess at the moment, I know, but it's not all as bad as it seems. Once the greenhouses are in situ, the bottom plot's going to look pretty good. It's just the back plot, which is a massive job. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't stressed about it. Because I really don't know if I've got the skills or the finances to pull off everything that I want to. But we can only try our best, can't we? So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, I think I'll leave that here for this video. Like a quick introduction to the plot, me, what's going to be going on. And I'm going to crack on with some of this with the blue barrels. See if I can get some of that done. But yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.